Hello. Sorry, I'm missing the sound again, aren't I? Let me just check that. Hello. Sorry. Right. What I was going to say was I was just going to post this to, yeah. Sorry, Kaz. Yes, indeed, you're right. I was missing the volume. I completely forgot to add me to the stage. What an idiot. Anyway, sorry about that. A complete 5 minutes of nothing there. So, yeah. Sorry about that. I'm just going to get this URL and post it to the old Telegram groups that we're not using anymore, just in case there are people there who are going to watch. So let me just do that. And then there you go. Right. Okay. So that's Telegram done, Discord done. And what was the other one? X is done as well. Actually, if I get the X post, let me just grab it. Where has it gone? This one here. So if I get that, if I put that in the chat here, then if you can go and like that and, you know, retweet or whatever it's called these days and all that. Firewhite saying hello and like done. That's a good point, actually. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to, I don't know. I was going to put a poll up, but I did that yesterday. No, maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe I should do, what shall I do? Shall I do like a bullish or bearish thing? That's a bit boring, isn't it, really? I'll tell you what I'll do. I will do this now. I'm going to, hang on, why can't I do that? You know, this is so much easier to do this kind of stuff when there's someone else here, because they can be talking away, and meanwhile I can be sort of messing around doing things. I think I'll have to go to the chat, and then I can start a poll. Right, there you go, and then I can say, are you in a trade right now? And that can be yes or no. And the third option is all right, this one I'm all right. I think that's a good option. And then it won't let me. Oh, I can't. Why? Oh, why? Oh, I don't know. Sorry about this. I'm just trying to. I'm going to give up on that. I definitely cannot do two things at once. I think it's because I'm a man. I think that's what it is. I know my wife used to be brilliant. She could do like many things at the same time and get them all done. And I could just never, ever do it. She used to say, "Well, why are you doing that? Can't you do this?" And I was like, "No," because I'll forget what I'm doing. Anyway, right, what we're looking at the price of Bitcoin. Now, the reason I'm doing this, is because I was making a video this morning. I was making this for Cyprian, who is one of the guys from the Discord. Have I mentioned the Discord? I think I have. And there's a big thing down the bottom there saying Discord, savewithcrypto.org/Discord. And Cyprian was saying that on BitGet, he wasn't able to set a stop loss in profit. So I went into a little trade here. It's only a tiny one. I'm just using like a couple of BGB in BitGet to see if I could do this. And setting a stop loss in profit, I mean, you can do it like that, and then that just sets it at that price, for example. And you just go confirm, right? So if the price comes down there, that will hit the stop loss and close the trade. You can move that around. That's all good. Alternatively, you can just put it into the, put the figures into the thing. So let's do that. So you can go here stop loss. So it's probably worth noting, actually, if you put in, say, like 5%, right, it will put it in as -5, right? So let's do that again. So I put in 5 and it shows it as -5. So by default, it will always put the stop loss below your entry, because that's what stop losses are supposed to be for, isn't it? It's supposed to be so that if you got the trade wrong, you mitigate your losses. I always think stop loss is a bad name because it doesn't stop the loss, it just stops you losing everything. But I don't know what you'd call it. A stop losing everything stop. I don't know. I think in TradFi they call them something different. They call them like a limit stop or something. So that's probably a better name, isn't it? Now the point is you can't actually put a positive value in here. So you can't put like +5%, So if you want to do that, you need to actually just put the price in that you want there. And then that will show a positive thing here. So estimated profit and loss, 1.52%. Okay. So that's what it does there. If you don't know what figure you're going for, what I sometimes do, if I haven't got a stop loss already, I'll just put that at 0. Okay. And I'll go confirm. All right. So that then, oh, can't see it. I was kind of hoping that would, oh no, it doesn't set a stop loss, does it? Oh, okay, so you do need to put a figure in. Yeah, but literally I'd just go for a price that's here, like 102,900, say. So let's do that. 102,900. And that shows it there. Confirm. And boom, that's done. Okay, so that's how you do it. Now, I don't know what problem Cyprian was having. I looked back at his post in the Discord and I couldn't replicate your error, mate. Anyway, let's just have a quick look at the comments. WJM, hello there. Yeah, I've noticed you popping in from time to time. That's great. Kaz is always here, isn't she? Brilliant. Monkeyism, hello all indeed. It's just me today, by the way. Maff's doing we're doing some work actually, which I suppose is a good thing. Kaz, yeah, sorry about that, Kaz. I it's one of those things where if I do stuff on my own, I just forget about it. It's like, but I basically what I did, I set the mic up and everything, and I didn't add me to the stage, whereas normally when like me and Maff turn up in the StreamYard studio, we'll put both ourselves on the stage, and then we'll have a quick chat and say like, right, you're ready to go, and then off we go, and it's all kind of like natural. But but obviously because I'm on my own, I just did it wrong, really. Crypto Luna, that's a good name. No sound. Yeah, sorry about that. Monkeyism, I'm missing time. Oh, okay. Andy, hello. Right, that was my tweet. Yeah, please do retweet that if you can. Hello, like and done. Thank you, Firewatch, as always. Debbie Mastering. Hello all. Have you shortened your name? Didn't it used to be Debut something Mastering? Or no? Nick here is of course. Brilliant. Okay. Right. Now let's just have a look at this trade again, because I was going to show you something, and I am in the process of making a video about this, because there's something in BitGet, right, which is really useless, and it's when you set a trailing stop. And I was just going to show you this because every other exchange I know, they either haven't got a trailing stop, like weeks or something, they just don't have one, or if they've got it, it works properly, And with BitGet, let's say that I wanted to put a stop loss like $330 below where we are now, so about here, right? So what you'd do, you'd hang on, I'm just going to get rid of this because that's something I was using to make the video. Okay, right, so there's no order set here at all, right? So there's no stop loss. No, there is. Hang on. Yeah, so there's no stop loss or anything like that set. Okay. So if I wanted to put a trading stop loss, 300 and what did I say? 330 bucks, was it? Yeah, something like that. So if I wanted to put a trading stop loss $330 below where we are now, what you do is you come down to trailing TP thingy here, right? and you put in there, you'd put in 300. That's annoying. Okay, you see, again, this is another thing that's not very good. I'm not totally dissing BitGet because it is an exchange of views for a long time. It's just there are a few annoying little things they haven't fixed. Like normally you've got a choice there, like percentage or distance, and that's just got percentage. So I need to know what it is as a percentage. So okay, so let's do that again. So we're looking at something like 0.3. As I haven't got a stop loss at all, let's just go quite near. So that's bloody hell. Oh, the price is coming down. That's not very good. That's not going to be good for showing you, but never mind. We'll do it anyway. So let's say like 0.5%, 0.5%. Okay, that's where I want to set the stop loss. So what you would do is, once again, that's not it. Once again, you get the trailing stop loss, okay, and you go callback rate there is 0.5. You can also tell as well, there's a lot of stuff translated from the Chinese, so I don't know, callback rate is, I don't know, I'm sure there's a better word for that. And then, you can set a quantity there if you want, like, 50%, whatever. And you go confirm, you get the confirmation here, right? So callback rate 0.5%, and then all good. That's how much it will close, confirm, and you can't see it. It should be about here. So did it set? Well, if you look into the open orders, right, you can see here, it did set it, trailing TP, SL, but you can't see it on the chart. That is just terrible for me. Anyway, for that reason, I would say, and if a trailing stop loss is something that you use something like Bitunix. Use our link, savewithcrypto.org/Bitunix, and it will get you up to a $400 bonus if you use it in the next 9 days. But yeah, that's just really annoying, really. So for that reason, I just don't do it. I just kind of cancel it, and I don't know. I if I'm going to do that kind of thing, I just set a stop loss manual. I'll move it around, even if it's in profit, which isn't ideal because, sometimes you want to do that if you're going to go to sleep or something. Anyway, right, are we all still here? So I'll stop talking about this in a moment. Debut mastering, not change the name on it. Oh, okay. So it's yeah, I think I've seen you somewhere else where it's. Are you the Pro Tools type sort of sound guy? I think, was that you? I don't know. Anyway, so let's have a look at the price of the Bitcoin. So when I was making this video, what I was doing, I was looking at it on the 3-minute time frame, and I was using our indicator Quadzilla, and what I was looking for. I was looking for this this EMA cross here. I mean, it's only on the 3-minute time frame, but I was looking for the yellow to go above the green, and it did happen, and the price went up a little bit, and it's gone back down again. It's all very sort of flaccid, isn't it? The price at the moment, and the price is coming down. And this here is a bearish retracement line, so it'll probably dump a bit further after then, really. So. Is my trade in profit? It's about 5 cents in profit. I'm going to leave that because it's only small anyway. So let's not worry about that. Should we have a look at the video that Maff did? Because I think that might be quite interesting, because he was looking at everything on a much larger time frame, and it was making a lot more sense, really. So let me just move this to a. Let's just find a clean chart. Maybe that's ETH. That's no good. Where's my bit? Oh, there it is. Okay, I've always got these levels marked on. Anyway, so here we are at the moment. What's it going to do? It's going to go up or down, isn't it? That's for sure, actually. What's this thing here? We got something today? Unemployment rate at 130. Okay, I'm not going to be here then, unfortunately. Non-farm payrolls. This is one that always shakes around the market, isn't it? That is, this is tomorrow, actually. Yeah, it's the 6th today, isn't it? So 7th is tomorrow. Okay, so that's going to be interesting tomorrow. Yeah, 130, the market will get thrown around like a rag doll. Anyway, let's have a listen to, or watch rather, of Maff's video. And today I've renamed it so I can actually get the right one. So if I look at my downloads, there you go. Right, this is Maff from earlier. I did watch the first few seconds of it, and what he's talking about at first was the fact that one of my friends, Mr. Delta, he was in the Discord, and he was saying that it's really hard to trade if you've got a full-time job, and I can't imagine doing that. If I did, I think I would have to be a different kind of trader where I take like one trade a week or something, and I'm just looking for that perfect moment. And to be honest, that's probably not a bad way to trade. It's just that, because I like it and I kind of get a bit of a thrill out of the taking profit and then compounding it, because I like all that. I like probably taking a lot of trades, and I definitely take too many trades, and I definitely suffer from over trading. So if you have got a normal job or something, I think probably, the thing to do is try and get it. So most of the time, you're either looking, you're looking for those extreme days. So you're looking for a day like, that big crash we had. What was it, Monday? Was it? I can't remember now. But whenever that was, you're looking for those kind of days when everyone else is like, suffering, and there's millions of liquidations and stuff. And at that point, you want to be looking for a long, and then just getting along with, I don't know, lowish leverage, and then just so you can basically just carry on with your day, get on with your stuff, and then not have to worry about, the way things are going. Yeah. Whereas, with me, I tend to like not have particularly good entries, and then I need to keep my eye on things, and just makes it difficult. Anyway, Maff was talking about that at the start of this video, but let's have a look and see what he's got to say.
Discussion just now in the trading floor channel on the Discord that it's virtually impossible to be trading while also working a full-time job. Just too many missed opportunities. So I totally empathize with that. So similarly right now, I'm just quickly recording this in between meetings, and so let's get on with it. What it's going to do with this, so this is on the Bitcoin Daily. It's going to draw in the fib retracement levels just from right down here at the bottom of this like major price move that we saw up to the very top, which is about there. So it's from 74, 75 up to the top, which is obviously 126-ish. Obviously we had like the major pullback that dropped briefly below the halfway level, the 50% level. Luckily came back above. That was just worryingly, because I think if the daily had closed below that, which is around about the 100k mark, funnily enough, if it had closed below there, then that would have been just very, very worrying. Just signs of major weakness in the market. As it is, it's kind of crept back up. Would have been nice if this pivot had been a bit more of a convincing sort of one. Like here, that was a strong reversal, really. So we had on the bearish candle, the very long wick down and back up, and then the next day it was just, ain't no doubt about it, it's a move up. Whereas here, the following day kind of had that again, the wick down. And today, so far, it's just been this kind of reactionary downness to the price. Yikes, in fact, yeah, down to 1027. You can kind of look back at how the prices operated within this kind of range previously. The 0.618 Fibonacci gave us a level of support just there, which is around the 106 mark. And then obviously within that, we've had this kind of level shown up by the bearish retracement level from Quadzilla, which is kind of showing around about the 108.3, 0.4 mark. If we go to the 4 hour, like so, what's this showing us? I guess it's showing that things are not looking all that great. I mean, actually, that's pretty nice. We had this super up on the 4 hour, so that's been pretty positive. This could be viewed as a bull flag, maybe, if we get that, then down, and then up, and then it'd have to break through. Let's bring that over. Yeah, actually the 0.618 again. Just above that, there's also the remains of this bearish retracement level, which was 108.3. That obviously on the daily that's showing up as 108.4, but it's essentially, you know, the same kind of market interaction, really. What's really noticeable is that at this level we've kind of got that area of liquidity there. So this has shown up as mostly support, really, pretty much all the way along. It has been a bit of resistance there as well, and rejecting from there before. Yeah, so what I'm sort of getting at with this really is that these levels are going to be critical. It's the usual thing that for the day, Bitcoin really needs to make darn sure it closes above 100 and really above where it is now. It's got to, we need to see a bullish candle today just to show some sign of strength there. And then after that, it would need to close the week really above here, above 106, ideally above 108. Probably close the first half of the month above 110. I mean, these levels are going to be critical. It kind of needs to get up to this retracement level and so on, just to show some strength through the rest of the month. I do think if the bear market is going to continue, then we'll see a strong second half to November. So I think that's kind of what we're counting on there. I'll leave it at that because I've got to make this fairly quick. And so talk later.
Now, I think what he said at the end, where he said if the bear market was to continue, I think he meant bull market, by the way. I'm pretty sure he did. Because, yeah, but that's really good. If you're watching this at any point, maff, thank you very much for that. That's really cool. Let's just go back to my chart for the moment. Oh, no, I'm there already. Am I? No, that's maths. Hang on. Let me remove that. And then add me back. There you go. Okay. So there's a few things he was looking at there, and one of them was the idea of that I quite liked with the bear flag. Now, hang on. Why have I got such a busy chart? Shall I just remove all these levels? Don't really want to, but I think I will. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's a little bit cleaner. By the way, that's what it looks like without Quadzilla, but let's just, well, actually, let's just leave it off for the moment. So what was the bear flag math was looking at? He was looking at that little bit down there. So what he was saying is that we got this kind of recovery here, like what we did there. Was that the one he was pointing to? No, I think it was more like that one there. But we'd not got this kind of like reaction there. You know, it's not looking that good. It's looking the same as that, to be honest, actually, isn't it? That bit there looks the same as that there. If that was the case, you know, that'd be all right, I suppose. You know, wiggle along sideways and then drop. No, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so the bear flag he was talking about. I wonder if that will get picked up on the all chart patterns thing. Yeah. Well, okay. So TradingView, the automatic patterns shows that as a falling wedge, which I suppose is true, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Which would have a target up here of 105,618, which is not too bad. That would probably solve a lot of our problems. Can we see anything on any other time frames? There's an interesting one. Okay. So there's a falling wedge on the 4-hour time frame, which goes back from the 6th of October. Okay, so that's about a month long, with a target there of 131. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That would be interesting. I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a possibility, or do you think it's all over? I don't think it's all over. I think we've got about that price left, you know, towards the end of this year. I think that's what I think. That's, you know, very, you know, rough speculation, if you like. What was the Fibonacci that maff was looking at? That's the daily time frame. See, that's not so good. that's got a target of like 47.6k. That would be a scary thing, wouldn't it? Yeah, don't know about that. Anyway, I don't know where that fib. Oh, was that a fib coming from there? Was it? I don't know. You had something where it was coming out of the 108. Let's try that. So go from there up to there. Oh, no, I think that was it, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So what he was saying in his video that we came down to the 0.5 level. The only problem I got at 0.5, it isn't actually a Fibonacci level actually, but it is one that, you know, things tend to come back to. So that's interesting that we dipped down to there. So that's good. I'll tell you what is weird. The 10th of the 10th doesn't actually seem quite as dramatic anymore, does it? Now we come down here. Do you know what I mean? And it's all starting to sort of make a bit of sense now because you've got all this kind of area of liquidity there, and that's kind of where we are now. Yeah. Where does our you see our 108 that was so like to be honest, the 108 we were talking about, it wasn't really that much. You know, if I go from the body of that, say to the body of that one. That's coming out the 382 at 106. It's not quite there, is it? But I don't know. It depends how. Yeah, let's get rid of that anyway. So I don't know. What does everyone think? Let's put on Quadzilla again. I mean, these are scary. Obviously, that's down at like 62, but I think that's for the bear market. I don't think that's relevant to us at the moment. 1 hour time frame. See, the 1 hour to me looks like we're done going down now, and we should, you know, go back up just like what we did here, you know, to meet that level there. So like meet that one there, or even you know, something like this here. You see, when it came down here, and then went back up to sort of complete these steps here. So I think it needs to go up, but whether it'll go up in a straight line or not, there's always a possibility it might double bottom here. You see, so yeah. Sorry, I can't be any more exact really. Just wondering about that trade of mine. Just go and quick look. Oh, it's negative now. It's down 2%. Never mind. Okay. There's not much I can do about that. It's a bit annoying because I was using it to make a video, and obviously the video won't end that well if it ends up sort of negative, but we'll see what happens anyway. It'll just be about stop losses and things like that. Anyway, let's have a look at the comments. So WJM, it's either a super cycle or it's over. Okay. Yeah, or it's a no cycle. You know, it's like, you know, cycles don't apply anymore, or something like that. I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over. I really don't. I'm just wondering if I can do anything to get out of that. Like trade them in there. What could I do? I mean, it's literally only like a few dollars. It's nothing, but I always think there's still a kind of thing in your mind, though. You know, whether it's like a few thousand or a few dollars, like, you know, it's just you don't want to lose if you don't have to, do you? You know. But you see, on a small time frame like this, you know, this bit is just kind of gaping, isn't it? I know we can use the VRVP as well, can't we? So let's have a look at that. VRVP. Okay. And you can see here what this shows. This is like the activity at all these different ranges. And what you've got is this big sort of void here. And then that retracement level there, you see. Maybe even that node there. So you would think if that was going to come down, that would come down to about there, wouldn't it? Like 101,310. And then that there should provide some support. But then if that one goes, then we're down to these ones here, back down to 100k again. Maybe it will double bottom. Maybe that's the thing to do. It'll go boom, boom, and then we'll go up. And I do like a double bottom. Something like that, and then we come down again. And that would probably coincide with that node there, wouldn't it? 99,200. Don't know. I must admit, at the moment, it's really hard for me to sort of take a trade, and I think that's because I've got a bit of I've got my normal accounts that I just mess around with on online on the streams and stuff, or on videos. I use like Bitunix and Blofin for that. Then my bigger trades are usually on Bybit, and one of the reasons for that is actually because I can't have the Bybit app on my phone because I'm in the UK, and you're not supposed to use it in the UK. So the actual Apple what's it called? iStore, is it? The Apple store won't let me put the Bybit app on my phone if I'm in the UK. I've actually got it on an old Android phone that was the one I used to use when I was in France. So I've got that. But part of the thing about not having it on my phone means I can't mess around with it very much. So that is one of those things where I'm just looking for the sort of tasty trades. And at the moment, I'm not in a trade with that. I'm actually just in Bitcoin there. And I'm looking for one of these kind of like lows like this. So for the moment, I'm actually not, I'm in a couple of little trades, but the big one, I'm not in a trade right now. I'm looking for that, excuse me, looking for that kind of sub 100k stuff. Let's get some water in them. Oh yeah, got a bit of a cough actually, sort of. I don't know. It's obviously that time of year, isn't it? When it's probably my daughter going off to college and meeting a load of people and bringing back germs, isn't it? That's better. Okay. Coding Crypto Fitness 4-year cycle is over. Do you mean the 4-year cycle is over, or do you mean the 4-year cycle isn't relevant anymore? Maybe, I don't know. Debut Mastering says people don't feel like they've got a blow off top, so don't want it to be over. Yeah, it's true actually. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason why it has to be the same as it always is, And like I've always said, there's never quite enough. Well, there's never enough data, because we're only talking about. Well, if we're talking about the crypto market, we're only talking about, for example, like Bitcoin being 16 years old, and yeah. I'll say 4-year cycle isn't relevant anymore. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you on that. So yeah, I would. Okay. All right. So let's just have a look at a few other. Let's have a look at a few other assets. I'm just quite interested in a few TradFi things. Let me just. Oh, there's my dead cat from yesterday. Yeah. How you doing, dead cat? Right. Ooh. Anyway, well, that's probably fairly relevant, isn't it? Because I was talking about that being a dead cat bounce, and I don't think it's a very good name actually. Because if you were to get a cat and then chuck it on the floor and it was dead, it wouldn't bounce, but like at all, But anyway, I think what that means is it sort of fell from a great height, did some sort of weird bounce, and then it back on the floor again. Now I'm looking at it, it does look that way, doesn't it? Apart from the idea of that bull flag. Yeah. Anyway, I was going to have a look at some of the things. Everything's looking very, very red. Oh, this thing's ZoidPay. Someone mentioned that. Who mentioned ZoidPay? Let me have a look. That was Ricky Swain. Oh, I'm not sure I know you, Ricky, but hello there. Ricky Swain says ZoidPay is looking all right. Yeah, it is. It's looking good. It's looking really good. Well, I'll say it's looking good. It's looking terrible compared to how it's been over the last 4 years, but it is showing signs of life. And I did start talking about it, a month or so ago, and it's up like, thousands of % since then. The only place you can get this is KuCoin, or you can use some of the Multiverse X stuff, This ZoidPay is going to transform into another token, which is called Other. If you want to know about it, go to this URL. It's ZPay, ZPAY-other.com. And this tells you all about the tokenomics of it. The thing that sort of people are worrying about is the fact that it says the total supply will be 3 billion Other. So at the moment, the supply of ZoidPay, I think, I'm pretty sure it's 7 billion. No, that's not right. What's that? That's 3 billion, isn't it? No, the current supply. I need to check this. Hang on. Let me go and. Where can I find that out? I think I know. It's. If I look on this Multiverse X Explorer, can I just look for ZPay? No. Oh, maybe. Right. So that's the token. So the supply, 700, right, 700 million. Okay. Right. So the token, so there's 700 million ZoidPay. And there's going to be 700 million. And there's going to be 3 billion. So 700 million. I was trying to do that in my head, actually. So I should be able to do that, shouldn't I? 700 billion. That's about 3 or 4 times more, isn't it? No, it isn't. 700. If it was twice, it would be 1.4 billion. No, so it's about 4 times. Right. So the supply is going to increase about 4 times. Now there are various reasons why that might not be a problem, which I'm not going to talk about now, but because I don't want to get anything wrong. I don't want to get anything wrong, but that should be okay. Actually, that shouldn't be an immediate problem. But if that bothers you, then yeah, don't do it. But yeah, the idea is at the moment, ZoidPay is a token on the Multiverse X blockchain, and it's going to change to being one called Other on the Solana blockchain, and the swap ratio is going to be 1-to-1. So there's going to be one ZoidPay, it's going to be one Other. But bear in mind, the total supply is a lot more. Okay, so that is the elephant in the room, if you like. I personally don't think that is going to affect the initial price at the start, but I can't be 100% sure about that. Anyway, so let's go back to the price of it. But yeah, sure, this is looking good. And I did actually think this is actually kind of tradable with where's it gone? With Quadzilla on something like the 3-minute time frame. To an extent, anyway. You can see back here, and this was only like a month ago, you know, it was actually working pretty well with these retracement lines. Now we've obviously got this one here at whatever that figure is, 003817, which is a little bit scary. But at the moment, I think the price is generally going to go up. I think if you want to buy it, you can't trade this with leverage or anything like that because the liquidity is too low. But generally, if you want to buy it or something, and if you look at these like retracement levels here, like 0.007, good James Bond number, that is probably the sort of price that you could probably get it at. Even I'm not sure if it'll come back down here immediately. But I am actually going to try, and I'm going to try and do a little bit of trading. So if it comes up here, for example, up to the, I don't know, I think the kind of, I don't know, I think I'd go a lot higher, you see. Let me just zoom out a bit, a lot, maybe. I mean, the chart's bloody awful, but so where would it go? I don't know. Let's try the VRVP again. See that level there, the 1.6, you know. So 1.6 cents, right? So $0.016. I think what I'm going to do is if the migration to other hasn't started by the time it gets up to here, I think I'm going to sell a chunk of my Zoid Pay there. And then I think by then we will have a nice retracement line somewhere down here, and we can I can basically just buy it again on the way back up. You know, I am holding a lot of spot anyway, so you know, generally I've got a big bag of it, but I've got a bunch of it that I want to trade with and try and make some money. Because if you think about it, you know, from here to 1.6, that's like 100%. So that could double your money, which is obviously an attractive idea. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, that's one of the ones that is actually looking good on my chart at the moment, on my watch list. What else we got? Everything else is looking pretty bad. Oddly enough, Chippy. I mean, Chippy is something we talk about. And bloody hell, look at that. We were talking yesterday about that coming down to this daily line here. It so nearly got there, didn't it? And if it had got to there, I would have bought some, right? And if I'd have bought it, I'd be up 41% today. Yeah, so this one's going to be interesting. It's going to be. I don't know. I am quite bullish on this. Really, I don't particularly like the way it's all been done because it's all. I don't know. I'd like it if there's a bit more communication with the general public and not just the people inside the CSE Discord. But anyway, I think overall it's going to be good. So I don't know. Something you can look at anyway. None of this is financial advice. Please don't do anything I'm doing. That's for sure. What else we got? Google's looking good. Google stock looking great, actually. Amazing. This is another one I like as well. RXRX. I mean, it's super cheap now. That might be interesting. Hymns. I bought some hymns the other day. I bought some hymns. I can't remember why I bought it. I bought it because I was. It was on a retracement. Was it Friday? I think it was. think it was. Was it Friday? No, it wasn't April. That's for sure. Maybe I was looking at it on a really low time frame. I can't remember what I did now, but I was looking for a retracement. Maybe it was that. No, because that was this morning. I don't know. But I was looking at something with HIMS, and I was looking for one of these retracements because this is behaving really, really well. And I just went in and out. It's probably quite apt thing to say with HIMS and Hers Health. I went in and out, and I made a few £100, and I was very happy about that. So that was good. Once again, using Quadzilla, so that was good. Tesla, I did. Hang on. Tesla, I did buy some Tesla the other day. Actually, I bought it at 440 something. So that's doing well. 446, I think I paid for. So down here, that's good. So yeah, all good. This is one the Wizard of Alt talked about ages ago. I think my friend Mr. Delta's got some as well. This is a real stock, but it's just behaved like a crypto. It behaved like a bloody meme coin, isn't it? It's like, I mean, what was that? That was I think he was talking about in the summer. So it's up like 380%, which is like, that's just unreal. That's like what a crypto does, isn't it? Yeah, amazing. Anyway, let's go look at Bitcoin again. It's Bitcoin. Yes. Will it come down to here? That's a long way down, isn't it? I think this is I think if you're looking for longs and stuff, you need to be super careful, because you can see here, for example, like this one here on the 12-minute time frame. This might be pretty good. That level there, 101.744. But after that, it might just go up a little bit and it might come down again, so you need to like just take your profit and then I don't know, look for a short or whatever. The problem is catching a falling knife is you just don't know when it's going to stop. And, there's no reason why Bitcoin couldn't just fall down to like 80K or something. And just need to be prepared that could happen. Cool. Okay, let's just have a look at the comments. Debbie mastering on the same. I've forgotten what we said now. Was that the overtrading or something? 4-year cycle isn't relevant. Can you check DXY on daily and weekly? Yeah, of course I can. And give your opinion. Okay. TMG is inconsistent. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've we've had a few disagreements about a few things. So yeah, that's the end of that really. But the less said about that, the better, I suppose, really. DXY. Let's go. Oh, I've got too many tabs open. Right. So why haven't I thought I had DXY on here. No. So DXY is basically the price of the dollar compared to like a basket of other fiat currencies, and you get this kind of inverse correlation with the DXY and crypto generally. The idea being that if people will go into like more risky assets when the dollar is weak, and when the dollar's strong, they'll want to be in the dollar and not in risky assets. So that's what we're looking at. So I think you said daily and weekly. So daily. Okay. Well, daily, right. Daily, getting this red background here, like what we did here on Quadzilla. And if you have a look when that happens, this is quite an extreme one because you've got the super down indicator as well. That was like January this year when it was up at, when was that? I was up at, wow, I was up at 109. Okay. So that's sort of, obviously with the way to think about it is like, if it's over 100, then that's a very strong dollar. If it's below 100, it's weak, compared to other currencies. So where are we now? We're at pretty much 100. Okay. So that looks to me like that's going to do something like what it did here. That's going to drop. Okay. Now, where you would expect to drop to is probably this retracement line here, just like what it did then, although it didn't quite meet it, did it? So I would say that's likely to drop about 3.73%. If so, that would be very good for crypto. Okay. That is interesting. And what's really good here is you can see that the convergence band here, this has gone over this 80% mark. It started to curl back down. And if you look in the past when that's happened, say like here, where it's gone really, really thin, you've got the space there start to curl back down. And then, actually from there, it only came down a little bit. Let's find another one. This one here, it was up at 106 there. Okay, that could come, I think that could come down quite a lot, actually. So the weekly, yeah, the weekly's telling a slightly different story, isn't it? You see, the weekly, you've got this convergence here of these two EMAs, the cyan 9 EMA and the yellow 21 EMA. If they cross, it's quite likely that it'll go back up there. But that's only like 100.6. So look at daily again. 100.6. 100.6 would be. So that would only be about there, wouldn't it? In which case, yeah. In which case, if you look at that there, that area there, I bet if we put on the VRVP, that will show. Oh, it doesn't work. The data doesn't. Okay, right, doesn't work with that one. But that to me looks like there is, like quite a lot of liquidity in that area there. I bet you if you go further back, that also matches up with something like that there, for example. And these kind of areas here, not so much there, but you got pivot points there, haven't you? So I think that might do a little double top, like, do a little double top and then come down, which would be very good for crypto if that happens, actually. How does it look on smaller time frames, like the 1 hour? So the 1 hour is starting to roll over a bit already, isn't it? That's interesting. That might give us more of a positive afternoon, in crypto. So maybe that the idea of that little bull flag that Maff was talking about might work out. Don't know. Anyway, Right, I'm going to have to pop off in a moment. Let me just have a quick look at the comments. What happened to stonks in that partnership? I'm not going to talk about that on stream, but there was a misunderstanding, and yeah, it wasn't very good actually. And also, it was down to somebody in my community, someone actually in my Telegram group, who I think tried to do me a favor, but the way he did that was by being negative in the Stonksy community, and that didn't sit well with the way I do things. So he had to go. But at the same time, it kind of it ruined a lot of good things going on. In particular, it ruined I didn't ruin it, but it stopped my relationship with Dave. Because I used to love being on the show with Dave and having a little chat about stuff, and that's all gone now apparently. So that's it. Anyway, the weekly candle looks bearish, but I could be wrong. Are we talking? What are we talking about now? We're talking about on the DXY. I forgot what I said about the weekly. I said it looked bullish, didn't I? I know. That's the hourly. Actually, yeah. I didn't. Did I look at it? No, I looked at the daily, didn't I? Yeah. I thought the daily was about to. Yeah, definitely. Well, the red background here, was that there before? I'm not sure, but anyway, that red background there is definitely a sign. Yeah, it was there before, wasn't it? Because we were looking at this one as well. Yeah. I'd say. I think. Yeah, DXY. Yeah, I think that should come down anyway. So, and it's not that high either. I remember last sort of I don't know, like a year or so ago, it was about like 104 and things like that. It's not there now, is it? Okay. Also at resistance, yep. So yeah, good. Stocks pre-market pumping also, that's good to hear. Yeah, DXY. Okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking about something else. No, I've got to go and pick my daughter up actually. So I'm just trying to think how I can get in touch with her. So have a quick look at. So yeah, certainly got Google and yeah. I think Meta's a funny one as well, isn't it? That's taken a battering. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. Oh, it's a daily, isn't it? Yes, the S&P 500 got this like green background here on Quadzilla yesterday afternoon, isn't it? That's good. It's down a little bit now. Maybe it will come down to this retracement here. Maybe I'll just touch that and go back up. Really. Anyway, I better pop off because I need to go and get the young lady, and yeah, that'll be that really. All right, I've got a video to put out later on. It will be about stop losses and stuff like that, but I think it'd be of interest. I probably haven't got quite time to do all my shilling of the usual stuff, but all the links to everything will be in the thingy down below, in the description down below. So please do check all that out. You can get Quadzilla at savewithcrypto.org/QZ. There's not going to be a Black Friday offer on the monthly. So, if you want to try it for a month, do that now. And then we will do Black Friday offers on the annual So we'll make that very affordable then. So if you want to do that. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with maff. And yeah, so take care. Please do like the stream if you haven't done already. Make sure you are subscribed. Give it a big fat like, and above all, tell your friends.